Hello and welcome back. Oh, have I ever looked at this? Music statue tower. So, have I always had this? Have we always had this statue? Have we always had whatever the fuck this is? Sharp-sighted omniscope. Okay. Before we do anything else, I'm gonna have a chat with Ulfar.
In honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come.
Very well. Let's ask this before we inform Thorvald.
If anyone knows where my pack brothers are now, he does. But it is not right to speak of such things within others' hearing. That is why I thought it better to keep silent at the War Council.
Very well. Well, inform Thorvald that he's invited to board the ship.
I thank you, Edvater.
Oh. Oh yeah, I like that they're all getting on their knees for the Space Marines. As they should. Thorvald has not come alone, but with a young brother in arms. With a mocking glance at Ulfar, he bellows. Thorvald Ironhide is here. Why have you summoned me, rogue trader? Speak to me. Ulfar's usual brash joviality has evaporated from his voice. Know you, Thorvald, whither the path of battle has led my pack, the baleful Howl? Halbrand. You haven't lost your pack, have you ever lost? The young wolf's voice is strong and insolent and richly melodic. Okay, maybe I'll change that voice then. He tilts his head in mocking concern, watching Ulfar's complexion change to match the violent shade of his hair. We did not have a chance to talk properly at the council. I wanted to meet you. Ah, of course you do. Who would miss the chance to strike up a friendship with the illustrious leader of the equally illustrious Stormbiters? Go on, Halbrand. Recite the saga of my exploits, and make sure to include the landing in the Void Kraken's mouth. This is Halbrand the brave, the most sonorous voice in my pack. Why did you stutter? Thorvald nods at the tall wolf, whose seems to radiate the proud... I think that's a mistake. Proud vigor of a warrior. I think you meant to say Halbrand the braggart, no? For his verses often weave together the truth with his own flights of fancy. Ulfar smiles vindictively with a viciousness utterly unbecoming of an angel of the Emperor. Now it is Halbrand's turn to blush. So fucking every time with Space Marines, they all have this like air of like being impossibly above the normal people, and then they start like speaking to each other and they're like children. You know what they're like? They're like pro wrestlers, like cutting promos at each other. Thorvald chuckles. Thank you for the correction, Everlost. I reckon we can do without the saga. Are all wolves so hostile to one another, or is it something personal, the two of you? Thorvald chuckles. It is only friendly nipping. If there was hatred between us, the walls of this glorious hall would have long since been painted with blood. Such is a warrior's nature, a wolf's nature. When we meet with strength, we test our teeth on it. Ulfar huffs a laugh in response. But there is a personal side to it as well. The Stormbiters have always tried to best the baleful Howl in the glory of their exploits. Tried and failed, for my pack was and remains superior. Fucking, why are you speaking? From all the way over there. They dissemble so sweetly. They would tear each other apart at the first opportunity. His melodica. Shut up, wretched captive. Halbrand does not even dignify Marashai with a contemptuous glance. He is not a captive. He is the rogue trader's huskar. Ulfar averts his gaze. Did you ever have to say that? Who's Carl? A fine squad you have found for yourself, Everlost. Why do you call Ulfar Everlost? You do not know. I'm not surprised. Brother Ulfar does not care for the moniker. He has had it since his early years in the chapter. When Ulfar underwent his trial of the Cup of the Wolfen, it took so much longer than the others that the rune priests gave him up for lost. Later he received grievous wounds in raids that sent him into stasis sleep for a long time. That's a thing, by the way, that Space Marines rarely die, even if they're brought down in battle. They go into stasis, and they're kept there either until they get repaired or until someone finishes them off. It takes a lot to kill a Space Marine. Later he received grievous wounds. Any time we would pay a visit to the baleful howl, we would ask, "Where is Brother Ulfar?" And he was always resting. And recently he went missing altogether, lost after an attack on Xenos. Thorvald grins mockingly, his long fangs glinting. And forgot not to tell of the dire curse that of yore was laid upon the mighty Ulfar. No good death for him is fated, only to one day be lost, bereft of glory and honor. Halbrand declaims the lines so sonorously and powerfully that the bulkheads begin to vibrate. Any who cross his path, let him regale and gladly. That proud warrior, Halbrand Blatherskite, singer of rumours and fine tattler of tall tales, for he was glimpsed no worthy deeds in his short life. Do you know where Ulfar's pack is now? Feasting with the Allfather in the Hall of Heroes, I reckon, with Mjöd filling their horns to the brim, as valor and loyalty did fill their hearts. Lies! Did you see their bodies? Which of the brothers will avow the truth of these words? Ironhide never lies. The young wolf's arm cuts through the air like an axe, and he angrily points at Ulfar. And you, Everlost, watch your tongue unless you want my dagger to deliver a penance of eternal silence upon you. No, we did not see their bodies, but we heard their ranting and raving, which can only lead to the jaws of Morkai. I would like to know the details. In the battle in which you, Everlost, Arnulf, and Skjaddi were captured by the Xenos, the baleful howl took prisoners of their own. Under torture, the captive Xenos gave up the star coordinates of where they were to go next. Some important meeting, it seems. The place was far away, deep in the uncharted regions, where the servants of the Allfather have never ventured. And your brothers decided to go there. No navigator would dare lead them to those dark places, so your brothers seized a trading boat and voyaged there without a helmsman. So you abandoned them to their grueling march. Ulfar's voice drops to a menacing rasp. Lower your hackles. I urge them not to throw away their lives in vain. Nothing but death could await them among those malevolent stars. We all came here to serve the Allfather and repay our blood debt. Not to die for naught. Or have you forgotten that, Everlost? Ulfar, what will you do with this knowledge? I will not test our friendship, Edvater. I know that if I call upon you to go with me in search of my pack, I will be taking you away from important battles and the saving of your home. So I will go alone to seek my brothers. But I will not abandon you in your hour of need. I owe you. When we have defeated our enemies, I will leave you and follow the trail. That trail is bloody and has long since gone cold, Brother Ulfar. There is no need to add another body to its tally. As the leader of the Stormbiters, I call you to our pack. Be a brother to us now. Ulfar gives the peaceably smiling Thorvald a penetrating look, his face darkening and his voice dropping low to a bestial snarl. Have you lost your mind, Thorvald? Perhaps it is you that has lost his mind, if you are daring to speak so insolently to Ironhide. Halbrand's insinuating tone is dripping with such menace that even the drawing of a sword could not have made his threat any clearer. What makes you so certain they are dead? When the baleful howl was setting off, we exchanged gifts, our pack runes. Every 10th watch, a priest cast the runes and saw what fate they revealed. 50 watches after the baleful howl left, the runes showed calamity. 60 watches after they left, death. Since then, the runes have been voiceless and their patterns hold no meaning. And that's it, the spirits deceive you. Your priest went a little soft in the head and forgot how to read his runes, and for that you give my pack up for dead? Cowards. The runes do not lie, Ulfar. You know this. I am sorry about your brothers, but their fate is clear. Why you want Ulfar to join your pack? He's our brother. He should not be left to wander the galaxy in the company of ordinary mortals, or alone. Wolves are like sharp knives. We hone ourselves against each other, and without brothers, Ulfar will rust and grow dull. Be with us, Ulfar. We will take you in. Go to hell, Thorvald. They'll take you in there. Say, Thorvald, your associate too often speaks when no one has addressed him. Giving you a disgruntled look, Thorvald sternly cuts you off. When it concerns wolf matters, Halbrand will speak if he wishes. Do not forget that we are the chosen warriors of the Allfather, rogue trader. Treat us like servants at your peril. Ulfar's eyes flash with fury. Stop there, Thorvald. This mortal rescued me from captivity and proved her valor. I will not stand here and allow her to be disrespected. So you hold this mortal above your brothers, and being without a pack has turned you feral and stupid, ever lost? Ulfar is right. He is loyal to his brothers. Stay out of wolf business, rogue trader. I will not reveal the coordinates of the place to which your brothers travelled. Respect your alpha, Ulfar. That is an order. You are too quick to call yourself my leader, Thorvald. Go and bark commands at your pups. Who are you calling a pup, Everlast? Unlike your pathetic pack, we will soon go into battle and accomplish great deeds. But you coward that you are, want to shirk your duty. Ulfar and Halbrand's roar merge into a single word. Duel. Oh man. Do I intervene? I'm gonna say nothing. A harsh shout drowns out the two wolves, who are ready to lunge at one another. Quiet, both of you! Have you forgotten where you are? Holmgang can only take place on solid ground, not on a boat. The void and the warp are treacherous and unfit to host a duel of the worthy. And secondly, I am your superior, Ulfar, and so I am not asking but ordering you to back up to, your chest beating with deeds. If the baleful howl pack is alive as you say, let it march with the Stormbiters in the assault on Euphrates too. Let it display the valor of all the stories tell of. Will you stand alone for all your brothers, or have you gone soft? Awareness has succeeded. The wolf leader's tone may be threatening, but you notice a slight glint in his eye. Ulfar, on the other hand, is growling furiously with no matching twinkle in his case. We'll see about that. I will prove that the Stormbiters will never be a match for the baleful wolf. Edvater, I must be at your side when you depart for the assault. Promise that you will grant me this honor. Thorvald, why will you not simply tell Ulfar where to look for his pack? Thorvald's face seemed to sag under a sudden weight. When the baleful howl left, I became the highest ranking wolf in the expanse. I am the Alpha, and it is my duty to ensure that no one of the Allfather's chosen warriors loses his life for a foolish or fruitless ends, not even Ulfar. Fine. I promise, Ulfar, we will march into battle together. If you prove that your words carry more weight than a battle axe, I will tell you where your brothers went. If you fail, you will submit. Thorvald's lips curve into a superior smirk. Man. Quick save right there. Nothing to it, I guess. But to continue, what do I even have? I have a Xenospasm I don't know. I forget to use my grenades. Anyways. Begin the scan. And we're gonna go. The rogue trader's ship took its place in the center of the attack formation. The right flank was guarded by the sacred combat vessel, the Adeptus Mechanicus, and the left consisted of the combined forces gathered by the Lord Inquisitor, headed by a frigate of the indomitable Space Wolves. The enemy deployed their ships in a wide arc in an attempt to surround the squadron, but the heretics' plan was not meant to be. Thorvald and Opticon 22 sent their detachments forward, tying up the enemy in combat and presenting the Lord Captain with the chance to deliver a blow to the very heart of the enemy position. But the flagships of these traders of humanity awaited the final hour. So, fleet combat then. First. I was expecting and kinda hoping for that. It's been a little while since we did ship combat, and I enjoy it. Just one ship. Well, it's one hell of a ship. Ah, goddammit, they're gonna fire upon us. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Fighters. That's pretty bad. I think I want to launch torpedoes like immediately to begin. Now I do have the option to fire on the fighters. I kind of want to remove fighters if I can. That's not great though. What would do that? Weak spot in the front. Also worth considering. Got a lance there. We got a lance battery. There's quite a bit of stuff to think about. I'm gonna fire in the front. Do we shoot? We have 2 fighter squadrons. I'm gonna go for it. I think we got one of them at least. Can we? Hopefully that'll mess them up a little bit at least. If we go here, we get that angle. Which, you know, that's something. And then here. And do what we can against that. Okay. Send a boarding party. I'm gonna take position here and fire up reinforce the starboard shield. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. We could strafe. Let's not. Okay, just the one. Fucking idiot. Was that really your best possible maneuver? Well.
The void ship is now a very empire.
A what? What did he say? Huh. But that ship didn't move at all. Oh wait, it's going through the... Fuck. I didn't realize until too late. Let's just give him one of these. One of those. Okay, we're doing damage. Can we do another one? Apparently we can. I'm just gonna do it then. So if we were to go here, we could give him one of these two. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna strafe. And then move over here. Do we I thought we'd done that already, but I'm doing it now. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Ah, shit. Oh, that looked kind of weird. Okay, and now I'm not sure that worked the way I expected it to. I should probably have looked a bit more at it. Can I actually? I can't. Still on the front, eh? What if we shoot them in the rear? Still no? Let's just keep shooting the rear, I guess. It's looking better. Can I do it now? No. I think I'm gonna fire on this squad. Okay, that's pretty good. Give him one of these right here. We fire into their rear. This might actually be real bad. How about we do that? This is really bad. I'm actually fucking stupid. Hopefully this will guard us enough. Okay, that's looking pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with their positioning though, because these torpedoes ain't gonna hit shit. Maybe we can get those two fighter squads. Or we can just do that. Let's turn this boat around. these. Two extra. Let's just position ourselves here. Get that extra range. Did we get him? Yeah, we did. And fire up the front shields. The 4 shields, if you wish. Let's save that for a second. So they're both occupying the same spot. I'm not sure how that works. Can I do this? I can. And it's in the front. Very nice. Yeah. Get him again. Let's put out our torpedoes. Do that. Have we gotten rid? I think we might have gotten rid of one of the groups. Let's fuck with their orientation. Just to be safe, throw up shields that way. Let's go 1 square forwards. Interesting. You son of a gun. Wasn't what I wanted exactly, but we'll deal with it. Can you... Kind of. Still not the best, but what are you gonna do? Swing around. Fire. Fire. If I were to go here, I do also have range for that. Nice, there we go.
They pale before our mastery of the void.
Yep, I think we did pretty good. We took some damage, but it was a big honking enemy ship, and I'm satisfied. We're gonna repair the hull real quick with the scrap. And then let us go for the... Oh! A general once said that all wars are... let me just read. What is this? This is in the Coroner's Expanse, Mundus Valancius system, is it? Dragonus? Oh, that's where it's written. It's an extract from the memoirs of... When the Expanse Burned, by Corvan Lazarus, Lord General Militant of the Dragonus Planetary Defense Garrison. A general once said that all wars are fundamentally the same. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Grok's shit. That general had not witnessed the events on Euphrates too. Rogue trader Jane von Valancius was the supreme commander in that battle. A woman of iron will, unfaltering, unshakable. I served in her personal enforcer guard back then, just another cocky kid who thought he was an expert soldier. The Emperor was gracious to me, gave me a chance to realize just how wrong I was. Most of my comrades didn't get a chance like that. Oh, a clue for Argenta? Wait for Argenta to approach with news? Okay. The shuttles would have blocked out the sun if one could see it through the smoke of the manufactorum city of Sigma S-13. At its heart stood the machine Cathedral, our primary objective. The Lord Captain showed us mercy by having the landing zone bombarded from orbit. All the shuttles carrying troops, and more importantly, precious vehicles, reached their destination. Daunted by our numbers, the enemy withdrew. That was a perfect moment for a decisive attack. With an armored vehicle force of this size, we had the upper hand. Upon descending from orbit, Sister Argenta inspired the troops with the very first notes of her prayers. Her singing was the Emperor's voice, commanding us to fight without any regards for our own lives. After rousing the soldiers who launched a daring raid, she quickly captured one of the heretics' commanders. That was when we heard a starkly different voice from the Sister of Battle. Trembling with fury, she personally interrogated the miscreant, pulling one poison confession after another out of him. Once she was done, the world was purged of his impure breath. And she was the one wielding the flamer. The sight of that heretic writhing in flames was imprinted upon our memories, shining a light on the cruel darkness of our immediate future like a brilliant beacon. In the command center, the Lord Captain ordered her generals to... Is this gonna... I'm gonna ask for the tactical report. The best breakthrough point until Manufactorum Sigma S13 was receiving Dock Mu 514, one of the oldest parts of the city whose fortifications and defense systems were starting to show their age. Every approach to it was covered in traps, atomic mines, mechanical mayhem callers, skin-rending archviruses. But we were ready to advance, taking sector after sector, even if it meant throwing our bodies at whatever the enemy had in store for us. In the command center, the Lord Captain ordered generals. Nah, I'm gonna go for this. This seems like the best thing in my eyes. The Lord Captain ordered her generals to proceed with caution with the support of comprehensive area reconnaissance. We were commanded to prepare our auspexes and commence the assault. We consigned our lives to small green vidscreens and the machine spirits. Whenever we avoided another one of the enemy's traps and ambushes, we would then voxcast the coordinates to the artillery gunners, while our comrades rained thunder and lightning upon the heads of those skulking whoresons. We gave the Emperor's peace to the rest, making slow but steady progress toward the city walls. Pushing through the ruins of sacred workshops, we looked with awe upon machines that until that point had remained forbidden to the eyes of the laity. Those were palaces of incredible and frightening technology. Void ship assembly halls, alchemical atriums, sacred arsenals, generators producing invisible fields unsettling to the mind, and scriptoriums containing knowledge of horrors best left undiscovered. In one of the chemical chapels, we came upon a shipment of cisterns containing hallucinogenic gas. The tech priest protested that the substance was not designed for warfare, that it was created for higher rituals, but the officers wasted no time pumping out artillery shells full of that gas. At last we reached the gates of Dock Mu 514, the threshold of the metal nightmare that was Manufactorum Sigma S13. However, the initial attempts to storm the dock shattered against the enemy defenses. Magos Dominus Opticon 22 proposed a tech sabotage. He could send small Skitaria units behind the enemy lines and have them subdue the spirits of the area's defense systems. Thorvald, the fierce leader of the Space Wolves, proposed to send infiltrators beyond the walls to kill enemy officers and weaken the dock's defenses. I'm going to ask to have the Vanguard regiments detail the reasons why the first assault failed. The influence of the ruinous powers had corrupted and twisted Dock Mu 514 beyond recognition. Many potential approaches were blocked by walls of flesh fused with metal and anomalies that bent reality around them. Hundreds of possessed machines assembled on Euphrates 2 rose against us. The enemy was expecting us to strike, and we needed to disrupt their defenses before attacking. The Lord Captain ordered to... That's not what I want. Is your carouse that low? Huh. The Lord Captain ordered to proceed with the tech sabotage. I was part of the escort for one of the tech priest's crews that broke into the dock to carry out the sabotage mission. It's one thing to watch a technomat wave a sensor over a cogitator on a cargo deck. It's another to observe sacred tech rituals being performed under a hail of bullets and carpet bombings. The binaric prayers, decryption litanies, and blessed crypto-purification viruses did their work. Every turret in the vicinity instantly turned on the traders, and the dock filled with gunfire and screams. When silence fell, the gates opened before us. I'm happy with that. It took us many days to break through the metal heart of the Manufactorum. On the third week of the assault, the vanguard was halted and swept away by a salvo of plasma micro-cannons. Scorning every cannon of sacred engineering, the heretics had placed the hull of an unfinished void cruiser on treads several kilometers long. That's hilarious. This leviathan of adamantine and plasteel barred our way. Logis Opticon 22 insisted, he's a Magos now, get it right, insisted that we retake the sacred machine, for the vessel had been in the making for many decades, and its destruction would have meant a great tragedy for the Imperium. It came as a surprise to all when the Space Wolf Thorvald supported the Magus Dominus. After the Lord Captain had reconciled him with the explorator leader, Thorvald had tamed his pride and spoke in favor of the Tech Priest's cause of liberating the noble machine. The Lord Captain... Oh, that's not a good... That's better. But I wouldn't want that. Sent scouts to assess the fearsome weapon. The sight was both terrifying and mesmerizing. A majestic cathedral that was designed to cut through the void was instead resting on treads of size that staggered the imagination. Those treads were grinding buildings into dust, and the ship's heavy cannons were incinerating entire tank formations. How could mere mortals hope to defeat a behemoth like that? The Lord Captain... I'm not a fanatic, dogmatic... I gotta roll the die. Commanded the sacred vessel be reclaimed from the enemy's clutches. Succeeded! Having the sacred machine on our side could have given our offense a sizable edge. Our orders were to get a landing force to the cruiser's bridge and escort the engine seers to the main cogitator. Our shuttles used the turret's blind spot is supposed to be spot to deploy elite troops on board the cruiser. While they were engaged with the shrieking heretics, the engine seers reasoned with the machine spirits of the main cogitator and initiated the blessed purgation protocol on the inner decks. It took us 3 days to drag every last cultist corpse out of the compartments. Slipping on pools of blood mixed with sacred unguents, we made it to the machine cathedral, a gargantuan hall breathing with the flames of 1,000 furnaces, the last bastion of the enemy army. That was where I first faced the word-bearers, betrayers of humanity and unworthy sons of the Emperor. What could we, mere humans, possibly do to match their unholy, bestial rage? The Lord Captain... That's pretty fun. Because I gave myself that option. I like this, but I'm gonna go for this. The Lord Captain brought the might of the captured explorator cruiser to bear. There is no greater pleasure in war than to turn the enemy's weapon against themselves. Exactly. The Chaos Marines are stronger than an army of ordinary troops, but even they cannot survive a direct hit from a macro cannon. The cruiser's weapons track their targets well, and no armor could protect them from shots like that. The Leviathan's treads rolled over the enemy defenses, decimating the contemptible word-bearers and bringing us a great triumph. And that's when it came. Doomscream, an ancient and bloodthirsty hellbrute, a merciless executioner forged from adamantine and ceramite. That single foe was repelling our assaults one after the other, turning hundreds of soldiers into bloody pulp. For as long as that abomination lived, we had no hope of reaching the heart of the enemy citadel. The dire-eyed Thorvald volunteered to track down and destroy the vile spawn, but fate had other things in store for him and his brothers. The Space Wolves pack was to be the first to storm the machine's cathedral, and thus Magos Dominus Opticon 22 assembled a cohort of elite Skitarii and said that he would locate and eliminate Doomscream. The soldiers were whispering that he was willing to activate the so-called Guaranteed Annihilation Protocol, A terrible and ominous ride that is lethal to the enemies of the Omnissiah as it is to his faithful servants. Upon arriving at the front lines, the Lord Captain... Oh, that's kind of fun. Questioned the survivors who had witnessed the ruin that Doomscream had wrought. Those lucky enough to have escaped with their lives had little to tell us. They remembered a terrible howl hanging in the air and a death machine, impossibly quick for its size, dismembering people and crumpling tanks with its horrific manipulators. This enemy was ancient, devious, and utterly mad. The heretic's mind was clouded by rage and hatred, and his body was bound within a prison of metal and mutated flesh. Upon arriving at the front lines, the Lord Captain... I'm gonna lead my retinue to hunt down the killing machine myself. Failed. The fight was grueling and bloody. Even the Lord Captain's retinue could not pierce Doomscream's indestructible armor. It seemed that the Lord Captain's abundant luck was about to run out, but when Opticon 22's Skitarii and Thorvald Space Wolves joined the fray. Their strife forgotten, the two commanders assailed their unholy weapon of destruction. Oh, I kinda like that. It was the rogue traders' wise guidance that allowed their strikes to pierce Doomscream's armor. Brutally wounded and humiliated, the profane executioner had no choice but to flee from the fight. The abomination's torn pincer, fitted with an ancient and powerful bolter, became the rogue trader's rightful trophy. That's gonna be, heretical. At last we reached the machine cathedral. We saw a yawning lift shaft left behind by a colossal land-gnawing drill that had burrowed for kilometers into the depths of the planet. There, deep below, lay the last hiding place of the heretics' leaders. Hundreds of grenades, accompanied by promises of swift judgment, were hurled into the pit. Such was our righteous anger. The planetary assault was a resounding success. The enemy forces were shattered and broken. A small fraction remained in the machine cathedral, but the rest either had been destroyed or were destined to meet the same inevitable fate soon. The Lord Captain's retinue and the Space Wolves band delved into the shaft, headed toward the heart of the machine cathedral. We watched them leave with reverence in our eyes as we were setting up a perimeter around the entrances. We knew that the true outcome of the Battle of Euphrates II depended on them, and that our fates were theirs to decide. And we go in with the usual squad. It's Ulfar and the ladies. Let's go. That was a fun way to do that whole battle sequence. I'm kind of curious what would have happened if I succeeded that weapon skill check. On the other hand, it was kind of fun to have that sort of backup result. With the persuasion test and all that. I'm gonna press the any key. Oh shit. Oh, there's a ton of Space Wolves. May the energies of the Immaterium flow into the... may the gears resume turning, the batteries blessed, poison of the unreal, may the vector be set. The giant clad in dark crimson armor is in the middle of a sinister litany, his words turning into repulsive, ethereal stench and flakes of otherworldly ice. He does not notice your presence. It's fucking Conrad Voigtveer. The same cannot be said about Conrad Voigtveer, who stands to his side. His completely mutated turquoise flesh... eyes... flash. His eyes flash, it's not flesh. Upon seeing you. He flinches but remains silent, hesitant to interrupt the ritual. I guess I'll look at it, see if I can... Oh! You can feel the strings of the surreal force emanating from the sorcerer's fingers and wrapping around the enormous disc of the drill. He is feeding its sacred batteries with his profane magic as if it were the motive force, subjugating the tech priest's creation to his will. The sorcerer does not turn his head as his voice rolls over the room. I see you, mortal thing. I sense your meek mind. The sorcerer reluctantly turns his burning gaze to you. So you are the one who was so eager to meet me in your own demise. Rejoice, brother Twilight. Today you become the new rogue trader. Voidvir's deformed features twist into a bloodthirsty smile. I don't remember his voice. Yes, master, I will rectify my mistake and reclaim what was stolen. I examine the machine. The platform beneath the sorcerer's feet is the drilling machine's massive tunneling shield. This mighty mechanism can gnaw through underground rock, bunker bulkheads reinforced with adamantine, or anything else that may lurk in the planet's depths. The corrupted servants of the Deus Mechanicus scuttle around the heretic, muttering twisted prayers of ignition in attempts to persuade the Omnissiah's majestic beast to awaken and rend the world's flesh. I'm going to address the sorcerer. Do you have a name, or shall I simply refer to you as the heretic? You know my name well. I am Uralon the Cruel, breaker of misbelievers, truth speaker, triumphator of faith, dark apostle of the blessed word-bearers legion. Kneel and offer a prayer of gratitude, for your death could not bear a worthier name. Voidvir, what the devils are you doing here? Voidvir cocks his head sharply, like a bird, and laughs mockingly. I am on a path to greatness, Jane. True power, the kind of which you and Theodora could only dream of. The edge of daybreak promised to weave me a truly remarkable fate. You are on a path to your own death. Nothing more. You have almost reached the end. An empty threat. I have the upper hand this time. In my next prayer to the dark gods, I will thank them for letting me destroy another rogue trader of the von Valancius line. If only you knew what powerful weapon awaits us below. With it, we will make the entire expanse. Enough, brother Twilight. Your lips will not speak a word more than it is a heathen's place to hear. Ignorance is their cloister. Let them remain trapped there. You must have been preoccupied with something profoundly important if you paid no heed to me obliterating your army. Death for the glory of the true gods is a blessed fate for any believer, so why would I rob them of it? Every martyr who perishes in their name only empowers their reign. I was tasked with a different mission, to make the Corona's expanse behold the sheer impotence of its most eminent protector. Once Calcasar's treasures has been stolen, his secret hoards plundered, and his name shamed, the dogs of the false emperor will see the truth. No one will protect them. No one will heed their pleas. Only by bowing to the masters of the Immaterium will they earn the right to live. And what is this treasure you covet so terribly? I will keep this from you so that you may perish in the darkness of ignorance. Pathetic. Your master didn't even tell you the reason why he sent you to face your death, and neither will I make this poisoned cup any easier to drink. If you are so confident in your victory, then what are these secrets for? Very well. Kneel and pledge yourself to the true gods of the warp, for great revelations are a reward for the faithful. Thorvald nods at his weapon. I doubt you intend to obey, but I still will advise against it. No more words. Thorvald, we must stop him. Well, Thorvald is a heavy bolter man. The wolf lets out a chilling howl, and his pack ready their weapons, acknowledging it as an unequivocal order to kill. With a solemn gesture of his hands, Uralon thunders in fury. Let those who blaspheme against the true gods beg forgiveness in vain. Let their lips be sealed. Let their hands be severed. Let their souls be reaped and scourged. The battle wolves, blah-da-da-da-da, Valancius, that's me. Oh, the multi-melta, heavy bolters. A glorious fight awaits. take heed with the silver-tongued traitor, for he is old, sly, and strong. But by the All-Father, the wolves will spill rivers of his blood today. The horrific display of profane sorcery appears to have filled Thorvald with joy and anticipation rather than fear. Have you encountered Uralon before? No, or else his head would then still be hanging on his neck. But my pack has heard plenty about his strength and ignominious misdoings. One can see the evidence of his malefactions all across the Coronis expanse, like bear tracks upon fresh snow. We stalked him and looked for a chance to clamp our jaws around his throat, but the craven knows well how to hide behind the backs of his heretical lackeys. What manner of witchcraft was he attempting back there? He wished to take the tunneling behemoth. If you hunger for my thoughts, Uralon is searching for something down below, in the Manufactorum's deepest halls. My warriors destroyed the energy fount and silenced the drill, but the detestable Malefic still found a way to revive it with his highness magics. What is Uralon after? What is he trying to unearth? Don't ask, for I know not myself. Kalkasar treats his allies like a Fenrisian mushroom farmer treats his produce. Keeps them in the dark and feeds them shit. He didn't see fit to enlighten us about the secrets of Euphrates too, but 'tis no matter. Whatever it is, we mustn't let the loathsome Malefic claim it. I will deal with him. You're a brave one, you're not easily deterred. Good, then find a way to reach the tunneling platform while we give the mangy sorcerer something to worry about. Thorvald exchanges glances with his warriors, and you could swear they all smile in anticipation inside their helmets. Halbrand, you stick to the original plan. I take 2 brothers and go after Doomscream. Our scouts report that he took refuge here in these depths after being defeated in battle on the approach to the Machine Cathedral. I want to take the unholy tin can that holds this traitor's brain back to Fenris. Good hunting. We won't fail you. The eager spaceman lets out a hungering howl. Proud, tread the Hundus grim in chase of a beast of steel and blood. Fangs bad, sharp and thirst for prey. Let glory cloak the mighty gates. Doomscream. He hides in this den. Step aside, Halbrand. I will be the one to slay it. I claim this quarry for the baleful howl. I know what this is, should I ask anyway? Sure. Who or what is this Doomscream? An old and vicious heretic. A hell brute whose veins boil with poisonous rage and savagery. His mind and body have so been warped by the ruinous powers that his very existence is an affront to the All-Father's warriors. Tread light when facing him, young brother. Yes, the beast is mad and hideous, but he's withal mighty old and graced with the arch-enemy's profane patronage. His hateful sermons abound with malefictions, and his weapons claimed the lives of hundreds during the assault. We grievously wounded him, true, but we haven't seen the last of this foe. If Ulfa kills Doomscream, will that prove that the baleful howl lives? If it comes to pass, I will be the first to raise a cup and be proud to the proud name of his ferocious pack. Ulfa, we set out to hunt the beast. Do you seek to best me in hunting, Ulfar Everlost? None are faster or deadlier than the Stormbiters. We will see, young wolf, we will see. I'm getting kind of tired doing these space wolf voices. Luck be with you, warriors. Hey do Rus, Jane. I guess that's a good thing. I am going to save right here. I don't know if there's like a timer or anything. I'm gonna save. When we come back, we kill some heretics. Always a good time. See you later.